Welcome back, AFR Talk, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Seary. It's great to be here. It's Friday. We're going to try to get to as many calls about your finances as possible. Want to hear from you. 888-589-8840. 888-589-8840. You can queue your call up. We're going to have some update on some economic data, and then we'll get to the phones. I'd like to get I'm not going to have time to do that. I had some emails and a lot of activity today, a lot of activity this week on the website. Some people have emailed. I haven't seen the emails. My administrative assistant told me that there were a number of emails from people asking about the Obamacare video and why is it not on the website anymore. Well, it's still on the website. We can't leave it. I'm not going to leave it on the front page of the website forever. But when you go to the website, you'll see something. It'll probably be a clip of the radio program from yesterday, I'm guessing. And if you look just below that clip, you'll see a little, I think it's in red, and it says next video. Well, if you click on next video, and that's not the interview, go to the next video and the next video. It's still up there, and you can just go to the next video and you'll find it. So if you want to hear the interview on Obamacare, it is still there on the website. We didn't take it off. I'm not going to take it off. It's still there. And we're going to have a much greater detailed video in another couple months on Obamacare. I want to have it well before 2014 so you all know what to expect, hopefully before the summer, and we're working on it. I'm going to have some great interviews. It's going to be about an hour long. We're going to have a half-hour video and then an hour extended version, but we're working to put that together, and I know that is of great deal of interest to all of you. I know that. So we're going to do that, and I'm working on it. But you can listen to that video. It's a 24-minute interview that gives you some of the horrors of Obamacare. Anyway, stock indices, very interesting. So the data came out. First of all, the big news happens to be very good news, happens to be incredibly good news, in my opinion. I mean, there are some outliers there that make the news not as good as it might appear, but even on the surface, it's pretty good. We've got the trade deficit. Now, you've heard me talk about this before. It's one of those numbers I really like. I think it gives us some indication of not only where we are. I don't know that it's not a forward-looking piece of data, but it is giving us some indication of what has happened in December. And the U.S. monthly trade deficit, fell 21%. 21%. It fell to $38 billion from $48 billion. They were expecting it, most economists surveyed, were expecting it to fall to $46 billion. It's the biggest drop in 4 years as we see exports rose and imports declined. So we know that the month of December import number was down. The exports rose a lot higher than we thought. And this obviously looks as though there was this surge in exports. Well, in fact, there was. All this, I mean, when you look at this number, it's very good news for the economy. Now, let me just say that a lot of it has to do with a couple of, two big things. If you take those out, it's a very different number. But nevertheless, they're real, and we'll leave them in there. So U.S. exports of oil and petroleum products was huge. It was a huge surge in U.S. oil exports. And that created the oil that we have on private land and that we are producing, because it's not under control of the government, has created a smaller need for importing foreign oil. Now, I'm not. I just want to be clear. I want you to be clear. This has nothing to do with the president. If the president had his way, we wouldn't have this. Think about what we would have. We might not even have a deficit had we continued or allowed those permits and started drilling again on federal land. But we've not done that. Now, I've asked Senator David Vitter from Louisiana, to come on the program. He's going to be here Monday morning. I'm going to talk about some of this. But so exports in oil and petroleum products increased dramatically. Imports declined 2.7%, or $224 billion. So that was the biggest pullback in imports in 3 years. Now, not only was it driven by petroleum, and petroleum, by the way, was a record. It was an all-time record, U.S. record of exports. $11.6 billion worth of petroleum products were exported. That is huge. But the crude imports tumbled to the lowest and smallest amount since 1997. That is very good news, folks. The other thing that drove the number was a increase, obviously, in airlines. Now, we know all about the Boeing Dreamliner. We have seen U.S. has exported more commercial jets in December than almost at any other time. So it's a huge month for airline industry. So that, with oil, got us where we are. So we'll continue to watch that. But it's all good news. It's very, very good news.